Moise only now. Okay,
Okay.
hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, where you're joining from. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday morning. We have Moise joined all the way from Dubai, along with me from Dubai, and we are going to start our session. And this is the session number 33 from D3 UGME. And today we're going to talk about empowering the modern workspace with AI agents, GitHub Copilot and Copilot Studio. And we are announcing one more offer for today. And there is a big event coming up in Dubai on November 11th, which is Experts Live Emirates. And me and Moiz and many of the team are the UAE community is hosting it together in Knowledge Park in Dubai Internet City. And we have a couple of questions coming up in the session. Please keep looking at the chat. And the only criteria for you to win the ticket is you need to answer the question creatively, and whichever has the good humor, we will pick them up. And one pass from each of us, we are sponsoring all of you. The only criteria, you have to be in Dubai, and it's an in-person event, not an online, so you have to be here. And if anybody willing to travel from any other location or any other geography, we are happy to support as well. With this, I'll hand over the space to Moise. Over to you, Moise.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining today, and thank you to Venkatesh for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. So today we are going to go through the how AI agents are empowering the current modern workspace and how it can help you automate your day-to-day tasks. We will also explore GitHub Copilot, which is a coding agent, and Copilot Studio, which is a low-code platform for creating agents. So I'll just give you a brief about my journey. So I started as a developer where I used to do some programming. I used to debug certain code, certain bugs, which gave me certain learnings about how to handle complex tasks through programming. Then I moved into the architect role where I had to think, apart from coding, I had to think about other stuff like designing, scaling the product, architecting the product, which framework to be used. Also, it required communication between cross-functional teams. Now, currently, I'm working as a product owner at Future Communications, and now it's another different story when you become a product owner. You have to understand the business requirements, you have to bridge the gap between business team and technical team. So that's where I am right now. So as we have seen the evolution of how AI has been around and have evolved so much, I'm sure that everyone knows by now like what AI agents are and how they can help us automate our day-to-day tasks. But I will just give a quick definition of what AI agents are. So you can consider them as your digital workers or your personal assistant who can work on behalf of you or who can assist you work better and make you more productive. The best part about AI agents is that they can integrate with any kind of tools, with your APIs, databases. It can help you automate repetitive tasks which you don't want to do on your own, like documentation or release creation, which takes a lot of our time, and we cannot focus on other productive stuff when we have to do all that. So AI agents are same like how we are. It has its own memory. It can understand language. It can understand what you want to uh, get done, and it can also use its own set of tools. So now, what we are looking here is that how GitHub Copilot is empowering a different role, right? So till now, developers very well know how to use a coding agent to implement certain feature or to get certain suggestions on how can they optimize their code, or how can they migrate from a legacy code base to a newer framework, right? But how it is empowering product owners. So what I realized is that once you reach out to a certain role where you lose touch from the coding background, correct? At that point of time, it is very important for you to understand what how certain things are implemented, what certain piece of code is doing. So GitHub Copilot can actually help you understand that when you are at a product owner position, where you have to also break down the requirements into different tasks. It can do that for you. It can also create user stories, provide you edge cases, different scenarios, which you cannot figure out on your own, right? Then how it is empowering business owners. So business owners wants to know like what updates happening, right? So once you connect your Copilot agent to a GitHub repository, for example, then business owners can quickly come in and check what all features are released, what features are committed till now, which part is in testing, which part is in staging. So that gap which is there between developers to business owners, that gap can be fulfilled through GitHub Copilot. Now, I would talk about few features which are there in GitHub Copilot. One of the feature is Ask mode, where it would act as a Q&A kind of chat system, where you can ask explanation about certain things, or you can ask what are these APIs used for, or you can ask how to integrate certain APIs, right? Then in this ask mode, GitHub Copilot would not change any files or would not edit anything. It would just answer your queries. Now, there is another mode which is edit mode, and this mode helps you modify a certain amount of files. When you provide specific files in the context, it would change those files for you. Then comes agent mode. Now, agent mode is a completely different orchestration which happens within GitHub Copilot, right? So it can actually do end-to-end development for you. You just need to provide right set of instructions. So it could create a React form for you. It can even write CRUD operations which can connect to a MongoDB or any other database. And it can also write you unit test cases, right? So as developers, we all know how much we love writing unit test cases, right? So it can actually help us write those unit test cases which we don't want to. Then there are custom instructions which can be provided. Like, for example, what is your programming style? What kind of frameworks you use? What kind of design patterns you want to implement when implementing certain features. So as I come from a highly compliant environment, so security is one of the concerns. So we can also mention security constraints or pointers which has to be taken care. Then the last part is tools. So this is something very wonderful which can be done through Copilot Studio, where you can connect different tools. For example, you can connect a command line tool which can help you execute uh, command prompts, right? Then it can also help you connect with a database or an API through which you can automate the whole cycle of the development. Now we will quickly dive into the demo. So I'll just switch my screen to my folder structure. One second. Let me share the complete screen for now. Okay, let me know if it is visible. So I'll just open up VS Code, and I will quickly show you how you can transform your idea into a quick prototype, right? First of all, I will show you how Ask mode works here. Um, okay, so what I want to do is I want to set up a web application, right? So I will ask, can you set up a web application in Next.js for me? And if you see here, it is trying to understand what I want and what kind of task I want to create. So here it suggests a project structure. Okay, I don't want my app to be named as my Next.js, so I will just say I want the folder to be named as app. Now it would restructure according to what changes I need, right? And I can, with few clicks, I can have the environment ready, As you can see here, GitHub Copilot is trying to create those file structure for me, those folders for me. Once it is done, it would notify me that the application is set up, basic application. All right, so this is done. So now I want to develop an expense tracker, right? So can you develop expense tracker web application? The design should be and modern with a light theme. Okay. Now, I use the ask mode here, but I intend to use agent mode. So I'll just stop it and again put up my query prompt to it. All right. So now you will see how agent mode is actually going, reading your files, trying to figure out what kind of initial setup you have. Now for this, you don't need to know much coding. You just need to know how different things are working or the requirements exactly, and little bit knowledge about the tech stack, like what kind of technology you want to use here. And uh, GitHub Copilot would do everything for you. Now, if you can see here that it also shows you what kind of changes are being made. So it changed the package.json file. It also did some changes in the CSS file, right? Now it is creating new file, which is expense, and it would take some time work in the background for you. Okay. While you enjoy your coffee, it can actually work for you. But I would suggest, focusing more towards more productive work where you can try to solve a problem, you can brainstorm ideas while GitHub Copilot is working for you. So let us let it work, like let it create all those files which are required, let it do the initial setup. I will move on to another example here, which I developed today morning. So if you see here, today morning I tried to set up an application which is for selling dog products. Okay, and I would quickly show what it has created for me. Okay, so if you see here, it created a POM art for me, which is having different options and all. Now I will show you how to add a new feature to the existing application, right? So as you can see here, it does not have a cart feature, though it has a add to cart option here, but it does not show that option here. Then it does not have an implementation for products page. So by the time GitHub Copilot is working on another project which we asked it to develop, we can in parallel work on multiple projects, right? So I will say, can you now add me a product details page? Okay. So, and I can also go back and check the status, what's happening to my initial project. Okay, it's still working on it, still changing certain files, creating layout, page components. Then I switch back to my another project where it is trying to figure out what is already implemented and it's working on it. Now, in the original, the first application we started with expense tracker, it is asking me to run certain commands, right? So, I would never prefer running those commands directly from the Copilot Studio because sometimes it's not able to figure out the path. Like as you can see here, it is trying to go inside. I'll do it for you, but let's see how it behaves. Okay, so it gave an error because it doesn't support this kind of command, right? So I'll manually run this, okay, and I will copy this command from here and put it here. Now it would install all the dependencies for me. I'll skip from here, okay. Now, as you can see here, there are few errors which are coming in. I can now, if you see, GitHub Copilot automatically understood what these errors are, and it tried to modify those pages for us, right? It would try to fix those issues for us. And again, it is trying to install. I selected allow, and it is running that command directly into the terminal. So these both the things are integrated through MCP because it has inbuilt MCP tools available. So it would install as all the dependencies which are required for the project. Now, by the time it works to install the setup, I will switch back to my another project. And as you see here, the application is now complete and it has finished implementing that feature for us. So I'll again do npm. All right, let's see what it implemented for us. It would be a surprise for all of us. All right, so I would go browse products and it created the products page for us, right? So if you see here, it created a whole new set of product page, but I did not tell it to have the banner like this. It automatically figured that out. When I click on view details, it also created us a detail page for each item, right? And when I click on add to cart, nothing would happen, but it implemented basic functionalities what we intended to. We can also, by the time the other application is getting set up, we can also ask to add a cart feature. Okay, and we can switch back to another set and see what happened. All right, everything works fine here. Now things are done. I'll run this application. Right, there are okay. There is some issue coming in. Right. Okay, so I need to get into the folder and npm run. Right now it will start the application. So I check out how my expense tracker is coming up. All right. So it created me a very basic dashboard for expense tracker where I can add transactions, income, expense, select categories. So as you see here, I did not tell the Copilot to implement any of these things which it built for me. It took the standard details which will be required for expense tracker and span off the whole application for me, right? Now, of course, add expense, it added validations and everything. Right, movie. So as we also have someone from the finance background, right? So if you have any idea of creating an expense tracker with your experience, what are features it should have, you can just come here, tell the features, try to, build upon your idea and it would create a beautiful prototype for you. Of course, it would not be able to create a production ready application for you as of now, but at least you will have an idea of what you want to develop and how it would look once it is developed, right? So while on the session, I started working on two applications. One I created from scratch, another one I tried to add new features. So you see how it is improving the productivity of today's developers, right? You can work on multiple items, you can work on other creative things which you like. You can also work on other complex problems, just like not just spend your time programming. And as per a lot of different blogs which are available online, programming is just 10% or 15% of software engineering. The software engineering consists of a whole lot of things which are architecture, security, scalability, infrastructure. So you have to think about all those stuff, not just the programming. So GitHub Copilot helps you focus on other important things and takes care of the programming part by itself. Now, as we asked our Copilot to create a cart feature in the dog shop e-commerce application, it created that feature. It also created a documentation here, right? But I can still see some errors which are here. So I will ask it to resolve those errors. Okay, and it would check whether there are any errors coming in. Okay, it checked that there are 10 problems it found, and it is now fixing those issues for us. But someone who is now if someone is working on a production grade application, so it is always recommended to continuously keep a watch on what files the Copilot is changing for them. They have to review most of the things which are done, like this is dummy data, right? So I don't need to review too much, but if there is some major functionality is being changed by the Copilot, then you should of course have to do a proper thorough review on that feature and what files it is changing. And I would also recommend you to commit your changes as soon as frequently as you can, because there are times when GitHub Copilot cannot clearly understand what you're trying to say, and it might mess up your application. Okay, so I would recommend whenever you reach to a stable um, build or a stable feature, you commit your changes and then you give next set of tasks to the Copilot agent. Now, okay, now it resolved all the issues which were there for me, and fine. Now I'll quickly stop the application and rerun it, and let's see what it implemented for me. All right, here it is. So it added a cart option here. I will say add to cart. Okay, it added. Now you can see one item added to the cart. Okay, so there are some glitches, but it can work out because it's loading the whole page again. But it added me a basic functionality of how carts are handled. Okay, so now moving on to our presentation. All right, here's the
Before you go
presentation.
further,
Yeah,
Moise, so
yes.
guys, the quiz is up, and I have asked a question. Tell me the funniest thing which an AI agent can do, and people can react to the message, and whoever gets the more smiley comments, emojis, will be given the first free ticket. Over to you, Moise.
Yeah, so I'll continue, right, Venkatesh?
Yes, 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 please.
Okay, so how we saw that, how we turned our idea into a prototype. So this can be a very good feature of GitHub Copilot where product owners can test out POCs. They can before going to management with the idea, they can try themselves out, have a prototype ready, and then they can pitch that idea. We also saw how a developer can add a new feature very quickly, refine it, review it, document it. All those stuff can be done from the developer's perspective. Okay, now there is a very important concept in terms of AI agents is that MCP, right? So MCP is a protocol which helps you bridge a gap between your Copilot and the external tools which you are trying to invoke. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick overview and quick demo for MCP. For that, I'll have to switch to my another account. 1 second. So I'll continue with Expense app. Okay, and I will just switch my GitHub account because it requires enterprise level permission to use the MCP servers, because of course it's connecting to the external tools. You would have to have that kind of security in place. All right, I'll use this account. And now our front end for the expense app is ready. So now what next we want to do? We want that data to be stored in our database, right? So I would connect my GitHub Copilot with the database. Let me change the model. Right. So here we have an MCP application which have different tools of creating a table, describing a table, listing what all tables are available in the database, how to like tools to insert data in the table. And I would want to give a detailed walkthrough of this application from code perspective, but looking at the time, I would just skip that part, and I will show you how to add an MCP server. So you can run a command Control Shift P to open the palette, and then you can say Add Server. Our MCP server is running locally on my machine, so I'll just select this, and it asks to provide a command, right? So I have the command here, which is I want to execute this Windows application, which is an exe file. I would like to name it MS SQL MCP. Okay. I would want it only for this workspace. I selected that. I trust it, and it created me a configuration for MCP. Now, this MCP also requires a connection string, which is a connection to the database. Okay, I would use that. Now, here, if you can see, this is my local database. My database name is Fantastic Commerce, but I would change it to Expense Tracker, right? And save it. So now in the extensions, you would be seeing my MS SQL MCP tool. So if you see here in the tools setting, okay, let me open the tools. It's not open. Okay, no problem. So I'll start the MCP server from here, just. And now the MCP server is running. And now I can ask the Copilot about the database available. Um, can you check tables available in the DB for me? Okay, let's see what it does is last time I gave this demo, it failed, so I had to rework for it. But now you can see here, it tried to run this MCP tool and it says there are no tables available, which is true because there are no tables available for expense tracker. Now I would say, can you create relevant tables required for the expense tracker? So now I hope it create different tables for me. So now it is creating a table which is expenses. I will say allow. So there is always a human in loop for these kind of commands to be executed, because if you directly run these commands on production, it would be a big problem. And now if you see here, I refresh my database and go into tables. I could see that expenses table here, as you can see. So now my whole development environment is connected to my GitHub Copilot agent. And now if I try to implement the backend, it would implement the backend for me. It would um, try to add records for me. So I can develop a whole complete functional application through my Copilot agent. So let's move ahead with the presentation. Okay, so now we would talk about Copilot Studio, which is a low-code agent builder where you can define your agents, you can define what tools it should use, you can define the knowledge from where it would respond to the queries. It also have a prompt builder where you can define static prompts also. And then of course you can add a human in loop for approvals and all those stuff. So let's These are few industry specific use cases which are there. So you can use a Copilot Studio to create agents for sales, which will send you proposals, an HR agent, which can help in hiring a new employee, onboarding new employee, or will respond to the queries about how many leaves are available for you, policies and all. Then for retail and e-commerce, you can have your own agent where it can uh, allow you to track orders, maybe prepare invoices for you. Of course, for finance, also there can be a lot of such agents which would help you analyze your financial report, or it would help you build a dashboard for your statistics to be presented to the management. Now I'll quickly dive into a quick demo of the Copilot Studio. So this is how a Copilot Studio interface looks like, where you can define new agents from here. I already have two agents which I created. I would show what product owner agent is configured as. So here we can give the agent name, then a little description on what this agent is intended to do. So this agent is a product manager who would respond to queries related to features, what is the monetizing plan, or how, what are different billing models available. And this is the important part while defining a Copilot, while defining an agent in Copilot Studio. Here you provide a set of instructions which you want to give to this agent, right? So I mentioned this line specifically to respond using the document and not to give out of context information, just to guardrail the agent. And then I have defined different roles for this agent and provided a guideline on how to respond. Then another part is adding knowledge. So when you add knowledge here, you can add it from SharePoint, where you can have your own documents. You can even connect it to a database. You can connect it to Salesforce, where you can get your sales information and all those stuff. Then it can connect to Dynamics 365. So it has different inbuilt connectors. For this demo, I'm using SharePoint documents. So I'll show you what document I'm using. So it has a product specification document where all the features are mentioned about my task management application. Just a minute. Okay. It has all the features, task management, how to create a new task, how to what are project boards and all. So my agent is ready and I can quickly test it here, asking, can you list me different features? Okay, now let's see how it's working. So the agent also uses LLM to understand what user is asking for and also to generate the responses. In between, it is scanning the knowledge base, and as you can see here, it created me the list of project features and summarized what all features we have. Now, and it also gave me potential features for future roadmap, because as a product owner, I have to keep suggesting new features and also think of how the ROI works for a particular product. Now I will ask, how do we create task in in task flow? So I hope it gives correct answer. This is the first time I'm trying this. So okay, so it also navigated how it is created, and it gave me it responded me with different steps which we have, right? Now if I go back to the agent, it has tools. So I can also add different tools to it. One of the tools I showed you through MCP, and then there are other connectors like Excel. If I want to um, connect to an Excel sheet, or if I want to connect to my OneDrive, SharePoint, so I can use different tools here. Plus, we also have a whole set of different connectors available. Adobe PDF services. Um, it has so many different connectors to Amazon S3, Redshift, etc. Okay, so this is how you can quickly define your agents for internal usage, for operations, for release management through Copilot Studio. Okay. Now I'll give you a brief of how we are planning to use Copilot Studio to develop agents for us, right? So of course I explained you how a feature owner agent would look like, which would provide answers to like what are different features supported by the product. Then we would also introduce QA agents, which would help QA engineers or test managers to generate test cases, to figure out edge scenarios, to also flag anything if anything is missing in the requirement documents, right? Then we would also have operations agent, where it would help deploying certain releases to different environments. It would help in providing rollback instructions. It would help in generating scripts, etc. Then we have a client success agent. So many times it happens that clients ask our success manager whether this feature can be implemented or this kind of customization can be done or not. They always have to rely on the development team to provide that answer. But with this client success agent, we can quickly get those responses through the agent on Copilot Studio, whether this particular requirement is a config change or it is a code change, or do we need to charge extra to the customer, right? So this is how we are planning to use the agents. So I would like to conclude this presentation by giving you certain pointers where we looked at AI agents, how they can help us automate our daily workflows. We also looked at GitHub Copilot, how it is empowering different roles. We also took a quick look at Copilot Studio. I would try to, prepare a full session on that, explaining details about how to configure it. Then, with the multi-agent collaboration, we can actually do a lot of things by connecting MCP, by doing automated deployments, and that's what the future of AI agents are. So, thank you so much. And now the floor is open for questions. Over to you, Venkatesh. Hi, Venkatesh, you there? I think he's okay. So, by the time he gets back, I would like to also inform you about one of the events which is coming on 11th November, which is AI and Cloud Conference organized by Experts Live Emirates. This is, as Venkatesh mentioned initially, that this is on like in-person event. So you have to be in Dubai for this. I would be part of this event as a volunteer, and Venkatesh is one of the organizers of this event. So if you guys have any questions, you can post it on the Teams chat, which I would be taking up. Okay, so Payal has one question. What has your experience been like using agent mode with legacy code? Okay, so We have used the we have .NET framework application, which is an old framework, and it is pretty much able to migrate it to a newer version, and it can also provide us optimization for that particular framework. So it works pretty well with legacy code too. But I have not used it much on the VS Code side. Visual Studio also has the integrated agent mode, so there it works perfectly well. Yeah, and it can also suggest you the packages, NuGet packages, which are out of date and which requires updates. Also recommends you the alternate packages for your application to be used.
Hi everyone, apologies.
Hi,
Okay, we
Venkatesh.
have a
So
question from Payal. Hope did you answer, Moise, or shall I
yes.
take it up?
Another question from Divyender is how can we use agents to create documents like designing? So so even Copilot agent would give you a proper documentation of whatever you topic you want to create a document on, right? Plus you can use of course ChatGPT can create you full presentations and PDFs, so you can create agents over there also. uh, so yeah, it uses PDF tools, and it uses designing tools. It also uses HTML styling tools and all to create those documents. What impact MCP server is going to bring to deploy agents? Okay. So, as I demonstrated the MCP, how you can connect to SQL Server. Similarly, you can develop an MCP where you can add tools to deploy your application in different environments. So, once the MCP servers are introduced, it would change the whole game of how we work. It would give you end-to-end orchestration from your environment, deploying it on the product, on the staging and other environments. So that's what it will bring to the agents. It would give more capabilities by tools and integrations. You can call APIs and all those stuff within MCP. I hope I answered your questions.
Yes. Anyone have any question? Feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask your question. And Payal has one more question. How can organizations mitigate security and proprietary licensing risks when using GitHub Copilot?
Okay, so so basically your code base lies within your development environment. It would not be sent over the cloud. The Copilot is smart enough to understand and take context of that. Uh, Apart from that, Microsoft provides everything through private cloud, right? So your data is secure within the Microsoft environment through private cloud subscription, which you get as an enterprise package. So those things are there. Plus, when your code base is within the Microsoft environment, it would not uh, pose any security risks. Of course, when you are developing, you don't want to ship something which is not production ready. For that, you would have to add different review mechanisms. But in terms of organization and security perspective, Microsoft Private Cloud handles that part for you.
Okay, any more questions? Quickly, we can take up one or two, and then Moise, I think nobody is fired up for the experts live. So let's pick one. And guys, you can transfer this to any of your friends or colleagues, whoever is in Dubai, or any of our Emirates, like which is Northern or Southern Emirates, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, and all, who can attend this as well. So Moise, you can pick one, and I'll pick one out of the nine people. I think it's only seven apart from us.
Okay.
Okay, randomly pick one name. I'll pick one.
I think only one person is from Middle East.
Okay, please speak.
I think someone told.
Someone polled in the from Middle East. It's
Yes,
me.
that's you. Okay. Uh, I think we can choose like whoever has anyone available in
Guys, feel
Dubai.
free to unmute and let us know, and we can
Yes,
send you the pass, and you can transfer it as well. You can give us the details on whose name you wanted the pass. We are happily able to give you those.
we can even ask them to reach out to us on LinkedIn for the passes if they want to.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
So you guys know us where to reach out on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out and we will be happy to give you. And before wrapping up, I have one big announcement. We have one more bootcamp coming up in November. So we are going to talk much on Dynamics 365. And let me open the call for speakers. So we are looking for Dynamics 365 consultants who can openly do the forum, either from finance or supply chain management, and also from Dynamics 365 technical. So we have the link, submission link here. I'm putting it in the group. So feel free to fill it up, and we are happy to give you opportunity for any of the new speakers as well. Uh, if you are an established speaker, MCT, MVP, we are happy to onboard you.
that's great.
Okay. With this, let's wrap up, Moise. See you
Yeah,
all for now. Bye for now, and we will see you in the upcoming event. Thank
thank
you
you
so
everyone
much.
for
Please
joining.
do join us and please make this learning much helpful. This bootcamp will be virtual. It's not in person, and Experts Live will be in person event.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Moise and Venkatesh.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.